might join because today afternoon we are going to Frankfurt for a program, right? So I think others may join as per their feasibility. But we can already start prayers so that we can also close the call soon. Okay. Who would like to read today? Harsh Prabhu, I can give you background. What we do is on a Saturday morning, we have Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Not so typical like we have in temples, where we have one verse, we discuss elaborately on that for an hour, but we try to go through the chapter. One of the participants read the translations of the chapter in complete or maybe in part, and after that, I'll try to kind of elaborate from the Prabhupada purports. So that's what we do. And yeah, maybe you can already also start your session by reading. I'm going to share the screen, and if you can read from verse number 1, I mean text number 1 to 25. And before you start, you can recite 3 times Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. If that's okay for you.
Yes, perfectly okay, Prabhu. Yes.
Okay, then yeah, I'm going to share the screen. Please.
Can I open the verses in Veda base?
Yeah, you can also do that, but we just share here so that
Yeah.
everyone can see while you're reading and can follow.
Yes.
Yeah, you can begin.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Granth Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Ki Jai. Canto 4, the creation of the fourth order. Chapter 30, the activities of the Pracetas. Text 1. Vidura inquired from Maitreya, O Brahmana, you formerly spoke about the sons of Prachinabhari and informed me that they satisfied the Supreme Personality of Godhead by chanting a song composed by Lord Shiva. What did they achieve in this way? Text 2. My dear Brahaspatya, what did the sons of King Barhiṣat, known as the Pracetas, obtain after the meeting Lord Shiva, who is very dear to the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, the bestower of liberation? Certainly, they were transferred to the spiritual world. But apart from that, what did they obtain within this material world, either in this life or in the other lives? Text 3. The great sage Maitreya said, the sons of King Prācīnbarhiṣat, known as the Pracetas, underwent severe austerities within the sea water to carry out the orders of their father. By chanting and repeating the mantras given by Lord Shiva, they were able to satisfy Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text 4. At the end of 10,000 years of severe austerities performed by the Pracetas, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to reward their austerities, appeared before them in his very pleasing form. This appealed to the Pracetas and satisfied the labor of their austerities. Text 5. The personality of Godhead appearing on the shoulder of Garuda seemed like a cloud resting on the summit of the mountain known as Meru. The transcendental body of the personality of Godhead was covered by attractive yellow garments, and his neck was decorated with the jewels known as Kaustubhamani. The bodily effulgence of the Lord dissipated all the darkness of the universe. Text 6. The Lord's face was very beautiful, and his head was decorated with a shining helmet and golden ornaments. The helmet was dazzling and was very beautifully situated on his head. The Lord had 8 arms, which each held a particular weapon. The Lord was surrounded by demigods, great sages, and other associates. These were all engaged in his service. Garuda, the carrier of the Lord, glorified the Lord with Vedic hymns by flapping his wings. Garuda appeared to be an inhabitant of the planet known as King Paraloka. Text 7. Around the neck of the personality of Godhead hung a flower garland that reached to his knees. His 8 stout and elongated arms were decorated with that garland, which challenged the beauty of the goddess of fortune. With a merciful glance and a voice like thunder, the Lord addressed the sons of King Prācīnbarhiṣat, who were very much surrendered unto him. Text 8. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear sons of the King, I am very much pleased by the friendly relationships among you. All of you are engaged in one occupation, devotional service. I am so pleased with your mutual friendship that I wish you all good fortune. Now you may ask a benediction of me. Text 9. The Lord continued, those who remember you every evening of every day will become friendly with their brothers and with all other living entities. Text 10. Those who will offer me the prayers composed by Lord Shiva, both in the morning and in the evening, will be given benedictions by me. In this way, they can both fulfill their desires and attain good intelligence. Text 11. Uh, because you have with pleasure accepted within your hearts the orders of your father and have executed those orders very faithfully, your attractive qualities will be celebrated all over the world. Text 12. You will have a nice son who will be in no way inferior to Lord Brahma. Consequently, he will be very famous all over the universe, and the sons and grandsons generated by him will fill the 3 worlds. Text 13. O son of King Prācīnbarhiṣat, the heavenly society girl named Pramlocha kept the lotus-eyed daughter of Kandu in the care of the forest trees. Then she went back to the heavenly planet. This daughter was born by the coupling of the Apsara named Pramlocha with the sage Kandu. Text 14. Thereafter, the child who was left to care of the trees began to cry in hunger. At that time, the king of the forest, namely the king of the moon planet, out of compassion, placed his finger which poured forth nectar within the child's mouth. Thus, the child was raised by the mercy of the king of the moon. Text 15. Since all of you are very much obedient to my orders, I ask you to immediately marry that girl, who is so well qualified with beauty and good qualities. According to the orders of your father, create progeny through her. Text 16. Your brothers are all of the same nature, being my devotees and obedient sons of your father. Similarly, that girl is also the same type and is dedicated to all of you. Thus, both the girl and you, the sons of Prācīnbarhiṣat, are on the same platform, being united on a common principle. Text 17. The Lord then blessed all the Pracetas, saying, My dear princess, by my mercy, you can enjoy all the facilities of this world as well as the heavenly world. Indeed, you can enjoy all of them without hindrance and with full strength for 1,000,000 celestial years. Text 18. Thereafter, you will develop unadulterated devotional service unto me and be freed from all material contamination. At that time, being completely unattached to material enjoyment in the so-called heavenly planets as well as in hellish planets, you will return home back to Godhead. Text 19. Those who are engaged in auspicious activities in devotional service certainly understand that the ultimate enjoyer or beneficiary of all activities is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, when one acts, he offers the result to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and passes life always engaged in the topics of the Lord. Even though such a person may be participating in family life, he is not affected by the results of his action. Text 20. Always engaging in the activities of devotional service, devotees feel ever increasingly fresh and new in all their activities. The all-knower, the super soul within the heart of the devotee, makes everything increasingly fresh. This is known as the Brahman position by the advocates of the absolute truth. In such a liberated state, Brahma Bhuta, one is never bewildered, nor does one lament or become unnecessarily jubilant. This is due to the Brahma Bhuta situation. Text 21. The great sage Maitreya said, after the personality of Godhead spoke thus, the Pracetas began to offer him prayers. The Lord is the bestower of all success in life and is the supreme benefactor. He is also the supreme friend who takes away all miserable conditions experienced by a devotee. In a faltering voice, due to ecstasy, the Pracetas began to offer prayers. They were purified by the presence of the Lord, who was before them face to face. Text 22. The Pracetas spoke as always. Dear Lord, you relieve all kinds of
As
material
follows.
distress. Uh, yes, Prabhu?
As follows.
Yes, the Pracetas spoke as follows. Dear Lord, you relieve all kinds of material distress. Your magnanimous, transcendental qualities and holy name are all auspicious. This conclusion is already settled. You can go faster than the speed of mind and words. You cannot be perceived by material senses. We therefore offer you respectful obeisances again and again.
I will stop here. Thank you very much,
Thank
Praveen.
you.
Okay, how was your experience reading through this part of the chapter?
Yeah, it was really good. I don't know this story in particular, so it was new to me as well. And
Mhm.
I mean, reading it in itself is good. So how good it would be to understand its meaning and
Mhm.
accept whatever Prabhupada has to deliver to us.
Mhm.
So I'm excited to know more about the text. Yes,
Yeah, very nice. Let me offer a quick prayer and then we begin. Yeah, thank you very much, Harsh Prabhu.
thank you.
ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुश्रीयुतपदकमलान् श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललितश्रीविशाख अन्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादि पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने घोरत्विषे नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायण नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अबध्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवतोत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः Hare Krishna. As Harsh Prabhu was mentioning that he is not yet familiar with this pastime, so I just give a very, very, very brief. Um, this is coming in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam fourth canto, and as part of this, it is where Prācīnbarhiṣat, he is the king who is very accomplished materialist and accomplished not on a modern terms but also on a Shastric Vedic terms, where he knows how to um, atone any sins he may commit, mm, because he's having everything at his disposal to enjoy as a king, and he in fact was a great ruler, having everything achieved, but he was still engrossed in, yeah, so to say, family life, maybe leading more perfectly a materialistic family life. And out of compassion, Narada Muni comes and, yeah, he is inspiring King Prācīnbarhiṣat to become a devotee. Why? We can also see this because he had 10 sons, Pracetas, and he said, yeah, before you enter into Grihastha um, yeah, just do austerities and then become more pious, and then you can engage in household life. And Pracetas, when they went, they were at a big lake. Sometimes we see as a seawater, lake, ocean. Um, so they were fortunate to see Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva has sung Rudra Gita, all the prayers that Lord Shiva has offered to Lord Vishnu. And he said that if one is mm, um, resting their devotion by offering these prayers morning and evening, then they attain perfection. So, I mean, of course, these days we have all this advanced technology where you can have, yeah, if you have seen Mahabharat in those days, right? There was like Krishna pastime was narrated at one part, and then there was also how the Pandavas in Hastinapur and Kauravas were in the Gurukul, and all these things were happening simultaneously. But if we see from a Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we can see how Sukadeva Goswami is narrating this to Parikshit Maharaj, the conversation, samvad between Maitreya and Vidura. So Vidura is not just like he's asking, hey, can you meanwhile tell me what happened with Pracetas while you are telling about Prācīnbarhi? No. Mm, Vidura has very patiently, attentively, and devotionally heard to Maitreya Rishi about what happened to Prācīnbarhiṣat. This is what we hear in the form of the Puranjan, yeah, where Narad Muni is giving a very allegoric story to King Prācīnbarhiṣat to wake him up. Yeah, as a common man, we may still have a lot of desires for material enjoyment, and we may look for ways how we can purify our yeah, reactions for the actions that we do. So rather, Narad Muni gives the example of Puranjan, and mm, after this, yeah, last week we discussed about the Falastuti was that if one is hearing to this Puranjan pastime, then what he attains is liberation. Yeah, it's very important, yeah, isn't it? Yeah, after all, who want to be entangled? We all want to be liberated. Yeah, so if that is the goal, at least if that is the goal, of course, there is still higher and higher and higher. This is what we hear from this week, maybe for a couple of sessions about what happened to Pracetas. In fact, they were blessed with what? Yeah, they were not just given allegorical story like Narad Muni has given to Prācīnbarhiṣat, but Lord Shiva, uh, who is expert devotee, and he has very expertly said these prayers, offered the prayers, and we go through that. Uh, the activities of Pracetas is this. So Vidura is inquiring after the Prācīnbarhiṣat how he was saved. All of us are stuck in the material world in one way or the other, and we are desperately, yeah, sometimes very desperate, sometimes very casual, but are trying to um, whenever we feel the heat of this material world, that it's going to trouble me more and more. Yeah. Then we may use our intelligence, and or there is also this there is a word that comes also in one of these texts, um, by the mercy, causeless mercy, one way or the other, we get a chance to hear the subject matter about the Supreme Lord. So here, Vidura is asking, oh, Maitreya, you have spoken about Prācīnbarhiṣat and their sons and informed me that they satisfied the Supreme Person of Godhead by chanting a song called composed by Lord Shiva. Hmm. So, and Vidurji is bringing us back to that very important point. We can't just take it like, okay, what happened to the sons? So they attained perfection. No, Vidura, being a devotee, he was very, very keen to know what happened with the sons of Prācīnbarhiṣat. And he said, they were fortunate, first of all, and when they were fortunate, what did they do? They just came across Lord Shiva. But we may also come across so many Vaishnavas in our life, isn't it? So many walking in front of us, but not every time we may make best of it. Hmm? But here, Pracetas, what did they do? This is what Vidura is asking. First of all, they were blessed by the darshan of Lord Shiva, the greatest devotee of Lord Vishnu. And then the second is that they heard to Rudra Gita, the prayers that Lord Shiva offers to the Lord. And what did they achieve in this way? What did they do? And so it is a fortune. We may all have fortune, but how did we use the fortune is very important. We cannot simply brush it aside saying that no, there is this free will. No, there is no free will. No, there is free will for us to embrace the fortune. When the good fortune comes in our life, when fortune arises, there is this nice book by His Holiness Gaur Govind Maharaj. Um, uh, when the good fortune arises, I think is very, very nice. A good fortune arises in one's life when a devotee comes in his life. Hmm. And after that, the devotees come, they bless. But how do we do? How do we take it forward is very, very important. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschet yatati siddhaye. Out of many, many millions of people, one may be interested in learning how to attain success in spiritual matters. So, Pracetas, they got this opportunity and they made best of it. How? Yeah, that's what Viduraji is asking Maitreya Rishi. How? And then, yeah, Prabhupada writes that, Mam upetya punarjanma dukkhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatma na samsiddhim paramam gatya. So, if we want to attain, what is the benefit of such great opportunity to hear to great Vaishnavas is that we practice that and then we attain success. And then what is the benefit of this further is then we are not caught up in this dukkhalayam. We are just in the spiritual world. Krishna is saying, after attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world which is full of miseries because they have attained the highest paramgata. Uh, Paramamgata means, yeah, after reaching there, yeah, there is no um, uh, mm, no one may want to come back. Mm. So, and then saying, so Maitreya Rishi, Vidura is asking, certainly they were transferred to the spiritual world. This is what I know. But apart from that, what did they obtain within this material world, either in this life or in other lives? It's a very interesting question. Yeah, usually we may see, okay, in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, obviously a devotee is praying, 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 and he attains perfection. And then when he attains perfection, the Lord comes, he blesses, and then he goes to the spiritual world. Uh, it seems like, okay, we are taking it as a stereotype way of seeing how devotees, after all, that is the way, right? Mm, no, but we see that what is interesting is so that we can understand what is it for me. This is what here, when Vidurji is asking, he's asking not only about, okay, I know that he has attained, they attained spiritual world, that destination, but what did they do in this material world? This is something very important to know. I think this part of the chapter we can find answers, at least some of our very important questions that we may have come up. Hare Krishna, can you hear me? Am I still?
Yes, Prabhu, you are audible.
Okay, yeah. So, here we see that mm, in the purport, Prabhupada mentions all types of material happinesses are obtained in this life or in next life, uh, on this planet or another planet. So when we're talking about uh, material happiness, obviously will be in the material world, uh, and because the life doesn't end after we die. It's not that okay, yeah, after someone dies, then there is nothing else. This is not the um, our understanding. Our philosophy is about reincarnation or life after death, which means one takes up a body. Whether if he does good, then he gets to some other destination. If he does bad, he goes to some other destination based on what he does. And karma has a great importance in understanding the Sanatana Dharma. So, the distress and happiness obtained during the span of life are called iha. When it happens in this life, it is iha loka, we know this loka, and then otherwise it's paratra in other loka, in the next lives. So, Lord Shiva is one of the greatest demigods within this material world, and generally he blesses people with material opulence. uh, and in fact, Durga Devi, who is his consort, is under the control of Lord Shiva. And that's why Lord Mahadev can offer anyone any kind of material happiness. Uh, Generally, people prefer to become devotees of Lord Girish to obtain material happiness, but Pracetas met Lord Mahadev by providential arrangement. Providential arrangement is very, very nice. So let us also often pray to the Lord. May that providence, by the mercy of the Lord, can fall on us that we get the best what we can, so that our journey into the spiritual world, or whatever, yeah, you may have your goals um, which are spiritual, are facilitated, not just once, because we may not be like Pracetas that once Lord Shiva has come in their life, they made best of it. Uh, Fallen like me need many opportunities or constantly such opportunities, and mm, push me more to accept such opportunities and engage in that services, so that I can actually develop taste of devotional life. So, what did Lord Mahadev instructed Pracetas is very, very important. Uh, he personally um, mm, instructed them to worship Lord, the Supreme Person of Godhead, and he personally offered a prayer. This is what is Rudra Gita. And simply by chanting the prayers offered by Lord Shiva to Vishnu, the Pracetas were transferred to the spiritual world. Sometimes devotee desire to enjoy material happiness also. Uh, this is also case, right? So we may have so many, because before we took up devotional life very seriously, we took material life even more seriously, isn't it? We were thinking, no, 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 I should do everything so that I can attain perfection in material life, which means I should be topper, 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 and we have been doing a lot of toppers, and yeah, we didn't see so many poppers who have already done, who have already been toppers. They are paupers on the street, isn't it? We see so many people who have degrees in their hands, like double degrees or even advanced PhDs, everything. But when we talk about their settlement, their jobs, they are still struggling. There's so much unemployment. But no, no, no. We only see how I can become that number one. I don't want to see people who have lost. Uh, so, so many of us may have these kind of thoughts, but Prachetas were special. Why? Because they were devotees, and such devotees are even further facilitated so that they can, yeah, because they have shown sincerity and determination to advance. So sometimes. Um, Devotees still they may have some material desires, material life interest in that. So yeah, like for example, we know that in the case of Dhruv Maharaj, he had this, I wanted to sit on lap of my father, and that was his uh, Yeah, sitting on the lap of his father, material father, sitting is material activity. Uh, um, anyway, so but still, after seeing the Lord, he said, "I don't want anything." Mm. But yeah, there is a reason why the Lord still has granted him that no, no, you will anyway have your own loka, Dhruva planet. And but yeah, you go back, you enjoy life, and yeah, you rule and all these things. Why? We'll talk about that later. Yeah, because in the Pracetas Leela also we see that comes. So sometimes a devotee is transferred to a heavenly planet, to Jana Loka, Mahaloka, Tapoloka, Siddhiloka, and so on. However, a pure devotee never aspires for any kind of material happiness. So we are talking about one who is by providence of a devotee like Narada Muni is inspired to practice bhakti and attain perfection. Or in this case, Pracetas are inspired by Lord Shiva and attain perfection and attain spiritual world. But um, in general, if you see pure devotees, they are not at all interested in anything. They are not interested even to be served by the Lord. Yeah. If you see Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, there is this where Sanatana Goswami is chastising Rupa Goswami. How can you take service from Radharani? We are always eager. Yeah, please, 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 give me that. Lord, give me, Mother, this. No, when pure devotees, the pure devotees, consequently, he is so much interested only in serving the Lord. And where is the best place? Vaikuntha, where the place the Lord is uh, served, and there is nothing else there. There is only the Lord and His servants, and the action activity is service. Whether here we are talking about Shravanam Kirtanam, there is also Shravanam Kirtanam. And of course, in Kirtanam, there is also dance. Yeah, it is said every step is a dance in the spiritual world. Every word is a song offered to the Lord. So, in this way, a pure devotee is transferred directly to Vaikuntha, which is described here as Param. In this verse, still in second one, we can see that um, Viduraji is asking Maitreya Rishi, please, please tell me. And when it is about subject of devotion, devotional pastimes, devotees are quite um, excited and they're very, very um, mm, happy, in bliss. They want to just continue to have this kirtanam, shravanam, harikatha, so that um, they feel that is the only purpose of life. So Maitreya Rishi, he said, Pracetas, they underwent severe austerities within the sea water to carry out the orders of their father by chanting and repeating the mantras given by Lord Shiva. This should be underlined. Why? We may think that, okay, I am a freestyle guy. I'm so freestyle that I want to do bhakti like I want, bhakti like I like. And in that way, we may somehow, yeah, we know that how Sahajiyas, um, they practice bhakti is they think that, hey, now Krishna came in inside me, or I'm now experiencing great symptoms of ecstasy. Those Ashtavikara, yeah, eight symptoms. No, I'm crying, I am drying, all these kind of things. Um, unless one is at that platform, that is not going to work. That is only kind of just like a kid cooking a very nice pizza with clay dough. We know clay dough in the end, even though it's very nicely decorated, looks very attractive, but if it's a clay dough, what can we really eat? No, we can't. So this is also unless one comes to the platform of pure bhakti, if just one thinks I have the symptoms, no, 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 I don't want to chant. Come on. Why should I do chanting? Chanting is something for someone who is a sadhaka. I am already a sahajiya. I don't need because I'm already in the spontaneous love for the Lord. And yeah, if you are, then no problem. But if you are not, then you have a big, big problem because then you can't progress. So here, um, we can see here what happened in the case of Pracetas is they were blessed by Lord Shiva because they just got the mantra from Lord Shiva and they just repeated it. They didn't artificially create something out of guesswork, out of speculation. No, that was not. What they did, they just followed what Lord Shiva said. And in the purport, Prabhupada is mentioning, one can offer prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly, but if one repeats the prayers offered by the great devotees like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, or if one follows in the footsteps of great personalities, one can please the Supreme Personality of Godhead very easily. Hmm? Because the Lord appreciates if one becomes the devotee of the devotee. How can we become the devotee of the devotee? By serving the devotee. So, how can we serve? By following the instructions of the devotee. Uh, so that what pleases the Lord more. And we can see there is various, we don't have to create mantras. Of course, if we have no good memory of remembering the wonderful prayers, Hamsaguhya prayers like by Lord Brahma, or Rudra Gita by Lord Shiva, and many other prayers. If we see, the Bhagavatam is a reservoir of all prayers by great devotees. We may not be able to remember the Sanskrit verses. If we can, that's nice, because these words have special um, effect. Yeah, the special words that are offered as glorification to the Lord are nice. Yeah, at least for me, I'm not an expert in remembering so many verses, but I appreciate the essence of these verses, the meaning of these verses, and that's what takes us more closer to the Lord. It's not that how nicely, like a parrot, have we recited, remembered, and uttered. Yeah, usually sometimes people will say, I want to um, teach my kids shlokas, yeah, because shlokas are Sanskrits and they are very nice, powerful mantras, Sanskrit, resonant, no, um, are so important. I think we are blessed, and I want that our kids also are blessed. More blessed is when the kids know the meaning of them. For example, when we are talking about Brahma Samhita prayers, Chintamani Prakara Sadmasu Kalpa Vriksha. There is this, yeah, you know what? Chintamani, there is this touchstone. Chintamani Prakara Sadmasu Kalpa Vriksha, desire fulfilling tree is there. Lakshabhrite Surabhir Abhipalayantam, Lakshmi Sahasra, not one Lakshmi, Lakshmi Sahasra Satasambrama Sevyamanam, Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. See, so nice, yeah. If you see, if we know the meaning of these words, we can see that it is a very simple prayer that Lord Brahma is offering to Lord Govinda. He's saying, oh, I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all desires, in abode built with what? Spiritual gems, Chintamani, and surrounded by millions of purpose tree, desire fulfilling trees. He is always served by with great reverence and affection by who? By hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis. Isn't it? So I would like to offer my prayers. Yeah? Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Aham. This is what Lord Brahma is offering, and yeah, we are following Brahma Sampradaya, or we follow the Rudra Sampradaya, or whichever. If we follow, then we are also blessed that such great prayers are already there. The prayers offered by Lord Shiva to the Supreme Lord were thus repeated by Pracetas, who were thus very successful in pleasing the Lord. And in this verse, there is also Maitreya Vacha, Praceteso Antar Udadhau Pitur Adesha Karina Japa Yagnesha Tapasa Puranjanam Atosayan. So, what did the Pracetas do? Ordered, or yeah, instructed by their father, they went and did this austerities. And what did they do? Towards whom? Puranjana. Yeah, of course, last 5 chapters or more, we were discussing about Puranjan, and we were thinking Puranjan is the living being, living entity. In this verse, yeah, we can see that Puranjan is also the living entity, and Lord both can be called Puranjan. As a living entity, we are Puranjana. How? We are Puranjana because we are in this material world, in this body. So, Puranjana. According to Madhvacharya, the living entity is called Puranjana because he has become an inhabitant of this material world. Because we have. and under the influence of the three modes of material nature, he is forced to live within it. So we are constrained, or conditioned in this material world, pura. Material world is pura. And the Lord is also Puranjana. What? How? Andantarastha Paraman Chayantarastham. The Lord enters. Uh, uh, the Lord is the creator of this whole material world, which is Pura. Material world is also called Pura. Uh, and so, in that way, the Lord is the creator of it. Now, very important. Therefore, both the living entity and the Lord are Puranjana. One Puranjan is subordinate to the Supreme Puranjan. Therefore, the duty of the subordinate Puranjan is to satisfy the Supreme Puranjan. That is devotional service. Hmm. Uh, La- Lord Rudra or Lord Shiva is the original Acharya of Vaishnava Sampradaya called Rudra Sampradaya. Rudra Gitena indicates that under the disciplic succession of Lord Rudra, the Pracetas achieved spiritual success. So, if we have these four Sampradayas, Rudra Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya, Brahma Sampradaya, and Kumara Sampradaya. Yeah, and if one is taking shelter of any of these, which is very, very prevalent for the time, place, and circumstances, and if one follows them rather than having so many apasampradayas or um, what is it? Even not even a sampradaya, but just freestyle, then it becomes very difficult for one to advance. So, and what Pracetas did was Pracetas, when they took the shelter of Rudra Gita for 10,000 years, they performed severe austerities as prescribed, and the Supreme Lord, to reward their austerities, appeared before them in very pleasing form. This appealed to Pracetas and satisfied the labor of their austerities. What not? Yeah, if the Lord is appearing, isn't that what we are actually working towards? Yeah, we all are doing a lot of services so that we can one day please the Lord, so that when He is pleased, that He is coming and then He is giving us darshan, isn't it? Yeah, usually time to time we have this, oh Lord, if the Lord comes, I want to ask that, I want to ask this. If you see in the case of Valmiki Rishi, yeah, he has meditated for 60,000 years so that he can make this Ramayana available for us. Uh, so we can see that the devotees are ever eager to offer prayers so that they can render service. In the end, it is not just okay. Wow. After all, I'm very curious. What do Lord Vishnu wears? Did he wear today yellow garment or did he wear blue garment? Oh, is he always, because I'm reading in the scriptures, blue or no yellow? Will he only wear yellow? Which kind of yellow? No, a devotee is yeah. He is just focused in service. He's just focused. Yeah, he's just focused. It's not that we are curious. It's not that we are curious to know why. What is the this curiosity brings anyway? If the curiosity is bringing us to know Krishna more and more, that we can love him more and more, that we can serve him more and more, that is perfection of curiosity. If the curiosity is only because just like we have a itch and then we are just rubbing, the itch will become bigger and bigger. So one question which is creating us 10 more questions, and these 10 questions can create 100 questions, and then we are bewildered by so many questions, and then we just simply give up this whole process of taking to devotion. Ultimately we wanted to know who is God, and then we end up in so many things that, oh, I can't it's beyond my uh, intelligence to understand, I can't conceive. And then finally people make just give it up. They think, hey, it's too I thought, no, I saw so many people are referring so many things, let me read myself, I want to understand. But eventually, what, because of curiosity which is not promoting them to devotion, if it is only curiosity to satisfy their thirst for knowledge, that would eventually hmm, not last long. If one is more knowledge, gathering more knowledge, he may become more puffed up, or either this or that. Either he is bewildered and he gives it up, or either if he achieves, he has the intelligence to understand, he may become puffed up. So that's why it's very, very thin layer when we are acquiring, when we have questions. How are these questions helping us? Is this question helping me to understand? Now, we are not talking about the technical understanding. Did the Lord come on Garuda? Did the Garuda, what is the size of the wings? Mm, uh, when Lord Vishnu is coming with 8 hands, and 8 hands means having 8 weapons. Each weapon, first of all, Lord Vishnu, um, he is holding all these weapons. He might be so heavy, and Garuda, can he say? Can he withstand the weight of the Lord, who is? Um, yeah, we are talking Jagannath. Yeah, so the Lord of the universe. Uh, and He is the entire universe. So in that way, we can say, oh, if Lord is so heavy, what can Garuda? How did Garuda manage to carry? The answer is very simple, because he is the devotee of the Lord. Mm. It's not that he has been going on a fitness training for, hours together to build his muscles, strong wings. Whenever Lord Vishnu is resting on the nice Ananta, and then Garuda is building up the muscle. No. So all these things, yeah, we can have unlimited such funny questions. Yeah, these might be interesting, some might be silly, some might be helping us, but we have to be very careful. How are the questions helping us to go more and more close to the Lord, that we can engage in devotional service? Anyway, that's a side note, but the Supreme Person of Godhead appreciated the austerities undergone by Pracetas, and he finally appeared before them in a pleasing form. It's very nice, right? So the Lord can appear in fearful form. In the case of Hiranyakashipu is also a devotee in a different way, right? So the Lord appeared in a very, very fearful form. When the Lord appeared in Varaha incarnation, we can see just he dug out planet Earth from the nether worlds, on his what do you call this, tusks? Not tusks. What do you call this? The boar has this, mm, yeah, special teeth. Yeah, I don't know what is the word, but yeah, so we can see. So the Lord here, yeah, in a very, very pleasant form, he appeared. In the material world, if one is successful after hard labor, he is very pleased. Similarly, the devotees forget all his labors and austerities as soon as he contacts the Supreme Lord. Although Dhruv Maharaj was only 5-year boy, he underwent severe austerities by eating simply dry foliage, drinking only water, and taking no food. In this way, after 6 months, he was able to see the Supreme Lord face to face. When he saw the Lord, he forgot all the austerities and said, Swamim Kritartho Asmi. He is saying, Swami, oh my Lord, Kritartho. Oh, I am very pleased. He's not just kind of, yeah, please, please don't go. I'm just going to roll out my list of a wish list. Uh, After all, I worked 6 months without any sleep, with no food, and the day has come. Let me start reciting my wish list. No, he started reciting so many wonderful prayers. And of course, how? Because Lord Vishnu was very pleased, and he just touched the head of Dhruva Maharaj with the conch. Then he became a boy. How can a 5-year boy can recite so many prayers? It's only the energy given by the Lord. Anyway, so we can see that, of course, these austerities are performed in Satya Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, but not in this age of Kali Yuga. In the age of Kali Yuga, one can attain the same results simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. What is that? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I don't know how attentively did I recite and how attentively that you have heard. You might have just thought it, hey, come on, it is just some Hare Krishna mantra. In fact, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu points out, we are so unfortunate that we are not even attracted to the chanting, chanting the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We are not able to get touched by the holy name, and we are just thinking these are just some mantras, and what will it do? But if one is very seriously taking up to the chanting, their lives have turned 360 degrees for all good. Yeah, so many examples. Only thing is we should have sincere, submissive endeavor. So the personality of Godhead appearing on the shoulder of Garuda seemed like a cloud resting on the summit of mountain known as Meru. The transcendental body of the Lord was covered by attractive yellow garments. Oh, see, again, yellow garments. And his neck was decorated with jewels known as Kaustubhamani. The body effulgence of the Lord dissipated all the darkness of the universe. This is what is said, like where the Lord is, there is, yeah, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is this Krishna, Surya Sama, he's equal like Lord, sunlight. Maya, Haya, Andakar, and Maya is darkness. Yahan Krishna, Tahan Nahi, Mayara Adhikar. The Lord is just like effulgent sun. Consequently, whenever the Supreme Lord is present, there cannot be darkness or ignorance. Actually, this darkness is illuminated by sun, but the sun and moon simply reflects the bodily effulgence of the Supreme Lord. And there is also references from Bhagavad Gita, and also we see from Brahma Samhita, Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagadanda Koti. By being illuminated by the bodily effulgence of the Lord, everything is freed from all darkness. Hmm. The Lord's face was very beautiful. There is further description. If one has time, they can read this and absorb. But isn't it interesting to see that, hey, here the darshan that Pracetas got is eight-hand form. Eight-hand form. Usually we know Krishna is two-hand and Lord Vishnu is four-hand. What are the four that Lord Vishnu carries? Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padmam. And of course, depending on in which universe it is, the right upper hand may hold this, the right lower hand may hold something else. So depending on that, the darshans of the Lord. But here, interestingly, the Lord appeared with eight hand. And what did he carry? According to Veera Raghava Acharya, the conch shell and lotus flower are also accepted as weapons. Weapons, yeah. We know how the shank is used as a weapon, and also the lotus flower. And then, since the Lord is a supreme controller, whatever is in his hand can be considered as weapon. Controller means one who is controlling, and what does his hand hold is a weapon. Four hands hold four kinds of weapons, and the extra four hands hold an arrow, bow, trident, and snake. Actually, I was seeing Ashtamukha Anjaneya Swami, or I saw there was this also the trident in the hand of Hanumanji. Yeah. And here in Lord Vishnu's hand, we can see, okay, he holds. Sri Veeraraghavacharya describes the eight weapons as Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, Shargha, the bow and arrow, and snake. The king is always accompanied by his ministers, secretaries, and commanders. So Lord Vishnu also accompanied by his followers, demigods, great sages, saintly persons, and so on. So this should help us to understand that Lord has a form. Um, how can someone hold weapons when he doesn't have hands? And when someone has hand, is he not having a personal form? Yeah, he's always himself, and his associates are also persons. From the description given in this verse, Garuda appears to belong to. Anyway, this is further. Um, so here we can see the Lord has in this wonderful form he has appeared, and then he blessed the Pracetas. That is very nice, and the Lord is going to speak very nice. Um, um, anyway, there is one more nice quality or reference of Lord given here. Lord is referred as Adhya. Uh, Adhya means original. Around the neck of the person of God, it hung a flower garland that reached to his knees. And with a merciful glance and a voice like thunder, the Lord addressed the sons of Pracetas who were very much surrendered unto him. The word, Prabhupada writes in the purport, the word Adya in this verse is very significant. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the origin even of Paramatma and Brahman. Brahmano hi pratisthaham. The absolute truth begins But absolute begins not with the impersonal Brahman, but with the original personhood of Godhead Krishna. Um, this is very important. We can't say that, okay, Lord is universal, He is unlimited, Lord is uh, all over, which means there is no form but for us so that we can worship. So that's why we are localizing Him either in our Atma, Paramatma, along with in our heart, or we are having a deity form, and just for us, we have created an imaginative form which is what we may like, we may appreciate, and then we have given a form to the Lord. No, it is the other way. The Lord has a form already, and from that form, of course, Lord can manifest in that form, or He can manifest in unlimited form. uh, in the universal form, in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we can see how the Lord has manifested. uh, the Lord is also the sun, the Lord is also moon, the Lord is also, so He has everything manifested, which is, of course, still a form, universal form. Holy name is a form, Nama Avatar. Uh, the Lord has, so everything has a form. This is what even Krishna, in when Arjuna, he saw this universal form, what did he say? Parabrahma Parabdhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusha Shashvatam Divyam Adidevam Ajam Vibhum. He's saying, oh, Vibhum, unlimited, Adi Devam, original. You are the supreme Brahman, the ultimate, the supreme abode and purifier, the absolute truth and the eternal divine person. You are the primal God, means original, transcendental and original, and you are the unborn and all pervading beauty. This is what Arjuna, the devotee of Krishna, said. And who is that? Next, Brahma also in Brahma Samhita is saying, Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. And also Vedanta Sutras, which is Janmadi Asya Yatha. The absolute truth is that from which everything emanates. In fact, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 1.1.1 is starting with this understanding, Janmadi Asya Yatha Anvayat. So, mm, that Lord has appeared in front of Pracetas. And Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Varam Vrin Varam Vrinidvam Bhadram Vo Yuyam Me Nrupa Nandana. Nrupa is king, Nrupa Nandana. You nice king, sons of the king. Oh, my dear sons of king, I am very pleased. Sauhadra, Suhrada Sauhadra is saying, hey, I'm very pleased. Why? Because I am pleased by the friendly relationship among you. All of you are engaged in one occupation, devotional service. I am so pleased with your mutual friendship that I wish you all good fortune. Now you may ask a benediction of me. Here, the Lord is appreciating one very important quality of the 10 sons of King Prācīnbarhiṣat. What is that? Unity. Uh, the unity of the individual souls attempting to satisfy the Lord is very, very important. It is the real unity. Prabhupada writes in the purport. It's not that unity means, hey, everyone is coming together, how to loot. Hey, let's have a nice teamwork, because it's not going to happen if I'm alone. For example, we may see some gangsters come together, right? They know that, hey, they can't do individually, they team up and then they loot a bank, and or they loot the government, they loot common men. So many looting business happens. Maybe one may not be able to do alone. He'll have his own gang, a team. No, that is not the team that Lord is appreciating. It is not that the brothers are coming together and looting. Here we see that the brothers come together to do what? The friendship among siblings is appreciated by the Lord if their only business is devotional service. This unity between the individual souls is so strong within this material world that even in a society of Krishna consciousness, members sometimes appear disunited due to their having different opinions and leaning towards material things. Huh? What is the issue in devotional, in Krishna consciousness? Even in ISKCON, sometimes we see, hey, why? If everything, yeah, if all devotees are together working, and then there is no problem. But what happens is, because we are coming with our material interests, I want, I want comfort. I want recognition. So this I want is more demanding us to, but we can't do alone. So that's why we team up, and then we'll start looking in the devotee community. Who is that person who has the same idea like me? How to become, how to benefit from. So in that way, what happens is, no, but Prabhupada writes is, there is only one goal. If there is only one goal, if devotee understands there is one goal, there is no problem. If there is only one goal to serve Krishna to one's best ability, if there is some disagreement over service, such disagreement is to be taken as spiritual. See, which means we may see, hey, come on, if you are saying this, we also see that senior devotees, they also have difference of opinion. We see Maharajas have different ways of working, and how to understand that. We can see here Prabhupada is mentioning goal is one, and the senior devotees, they know that goal is one. If there is some disagreement over service, such disagreement is to be taken as spiritual. Huh? Those who are actually engaged in service of the Lord cannot be disunited in any circumstance. He's just saying, okay, yeah, he is also a devotee and he also wants to try his way. Maybe that is better than my way. Huh? Let's see. So he is not uh, rubbing his opinion upon someone, but he is allowing so that the goal is to serve the Lord. This makes the personality of Godhead very happy and willing to award all kinds of benedictions to his devotees as indicated in this verse. We are so weak. We are so weak. We want spiritual energy. We want to be empowered. We want all that. This, how is it possible when we have this goal and when we serve the Lord and Lord is pleased, then it happens. So disunity in Krishna consciousness is not possible if it is due to spiritual reason. Anyway, as we just said, and the Lord continued, those who remember you even you every evening of every day will become friendly with their brothers and will with all other living entities. So if we want to have good relation between God brothers, God sisters, um, yeah, I mean, we can take this also at a material level between our own blood related brothers and sisters. Yeah, if we remember about Pracetas, Lord is blessing that by remembering the Pracetas pastimes every evening, the relation between brothers becomes uh, remembers every will become friendly with their brothers and with all other living entities. I'll stop after reading one last, which is 10. We couldn't go far beyond that. Those who will offer me the prayers composed by Lord Shiva both in the morning and in the evening will be will be given benedictions by me. Krishna also says, right? Krishna is saying, if one is praying to the demigods, in fact, that faith is strengthened by whom? By me only. In this way, they can both fulfill their desires and attain good intelligence. Prabhupada writes, what is good intelligence? In the Chatushloki, Tesham Satajuktanam Bhajatam Pritipurvakam Dadami Buddhi. Buddhi means Buddhi Yogam Tam Yenamam Upayantite. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. You know? Sometimes foolish people argue that since Krishna is not present at the moment, one cannot take direct instruction from him. Such foolish people do not know that there is no difference between directly hearing Bhagavad Gita and reading it, as long as one accepts Bhagavad Gita as it is spoken by the Lord. However, if one wants to understand Bhagavad Gita by his imperfect interpretations, one cannot possibly understand the mysteries of Bhagavad Gita, even though one may be a great scholar according to mundane estimation. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much. Yes, we have a very long day and we need to arrange things. Yeah, let's take a quick question anyone has or anyone want to share. Harsh Prabhu, maybe. Yeah,
Mm.
you have
Thank you
any you want to
for
add or
so exciting, so deep meaning of the text that we read.
Mhm,
I was wondering in this month of Kartik, we sing a lot of ashtakams.
mhm,
Most famous is the Damodar Ashtakam.
mhm,
So sometimes, yes, we can memorize this, but it happens that the meaning sometimes is not so. there may be many ashtakams, and you try to memorize them, but then you kind of not remember the meaning, but then you say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, let us just read, because reading is also good. So
Mm.
how to say, like, make a good
Yeah.
balance
So
between.
very nice point, and also very important point also. The reason being is we shouldn't forget the purpose of the prayer is to absorb ourselves in devotion and pray, right? Prayer is to what? To get closer to the Lord, to
Yes.
attract His mercy. So as long as when we have this, all our services won't be a routine. Yeah. You were
Mm.
telling about praying, right?
Yes.
Ashtakam. Yeah.
Ashtakam.
Yeah. What about doing cooking for the Lord?
Yeah.
Yeah, it can also be very routine, right? Yeah, if you don't, hey, I know what to cook. Yeah, it's just put some rice and dal and offer it to the Lord, and then you can still, if our mind is still occupied elsewhere, still we can do it, right?
Mm.
Cooking is not that we have to give full 100%, but when we are cooking for the Lord, it should be 100%.
Mm.
When we kind of remember this, yeah, even in DT service, we may think, yeah, okay, I'm doing Aarti. Aarti is what, yeah, you can just burn some incense sticks and just do
Mm.
the dhoop or deep or naivedya, all this archana paddhati that is mentioned, right? One can do. After doing regularly, then what happens is we may get kind of, okay, routine.
Mm.
We may not see the mm, special purpose of what we are doing. The purpose is to remember the Lord, right? Even if we are doing this or that or in all, the purpose is smaranam.
Mm. Yes.
Uh, and when we think, hey, today I want to, I mean, I remember Kadam Karan Maharaj mentioning a person who is on an altar doing DT service. One day he may, నీకు ఆల్రెడీ చేసి ఇచ్చింది ఉంది కదా అది వాడు నీ జపమాలలో ఉండాలనుకుంటా sorry. So yeah, so if you're on the altar, you may still say, hey, same, the deities, did the deities change? Of course, it was not like a creative idea like a Prabhupada disciple at that time had. Yeah, when Prabhupada bowed down, he saw Radha Krishna, and when we got up, he saw Gaur Nitai, because the altar was rotating altar. So creative, no. Rather, we should go how to be more creative in our offerings. Yeah, so like that keeps us active. If we think, no, I don't want to bring something today again, it becomes, yeah, we are out of that attention. So in terms of Damodara Ashtakam, it's so nice. The beauty of Damodara Ashtakam or any Ashtakam or any prayer is when we know these words, they are, the meanings of them and the bhav of the verses as per mentioned by the Acharyas. Yeah? We have elaborate explanations by so many senior devotees who have said about this. You can go more deeper and deeper and uh, find yourself well established in the prayer.
Mm. Yes.
And of course, if you do the Damodara Ashtakam in very rush, in a hurry,
Yeah.
maybe you may not be able to benefit with the meditation aspect. You may finish it.
Mm.
Yeah, we may finish that, but we may not get the deep dive that we really need to. Yeah. So even in Kirtan also. Yeah, that's why usually we see Kirtans go very slow to medium to fast, not like fast and then the other way, right? So
Mm.
that we build the tempo that we are getting more and more into it so that we are disconnecting with the world and getting connected with the Lord in a very nice pace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And when
Thank
we always have this, then the bhajans or these kirtans, they help us because they have words which give meaning, and
you.
when we meditate on the meaning, then we get, yeah, more not stereotype, but actually very, very vibrant.
Mm. So I think I would ask for your blessings to keep up my energy for the rest of the month, because it is just a few starting days, and I wish that the energy that we have in the beginning. Sometime it happens with me that over the time when you attend some programs, you do the seva at home, and so towards the end you kind of okay. It tends to become a routine, but the
Hmm.
energy is sometimes more or less like some kind of cycle. But
Mm.
yes, now it seems like the meaning is something that is going to keep me energized all the way. Yes.
Yeah. I myself, I'm struggling. Yeah. What can I bless? Only thing is, yeah, we have this nice community. I don't know if you have heard already from Shruti Mataji about the group that we have, where everyone is bringing their energy, and that energy inspires us to do, yeah, to keep on track.
On track, yes, yes.
So if
They
you're
told me.
interested, you can, yeah, you can join that,
Yeah,
and yeah, you can try. If it inspires, if it doesn't inspire, we can talk again how we can inspire each other.
yes.
This is
True.
something we can try.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Any other question? Any thoughts? No, then yeah. See you all later, and wish you a nice weekend. We see us tomorrow in the systematic study of Vedic scriptures. We were in 16th chapter, 1 to 3. Forgiveness is the topic. We spent 2 sessions. I'm thinking third session could be interesting also, but otherwise we go to the next quality of transcendent quality to discuss. Okay. वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय। हरे
हरे कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी
हरे
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी
हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण